right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Thursday, the 17th of March, and we've got a light week next week, man. I don't know what's going on. Am I out of town or something? It's spring break. That's what's going on. Just one event next week. Oh, actually, we have a couple events going on, but one event at Cafe Maxx, which, hey, man, if you want to put a Merlot out there, a grape out there that gets no respect, I think for a top-level varietal, Merlot would have to be the greatest varietal on earth that is probably the most misunderstood. You know, when the Sideways movie came out and the famous line in the movie, Miles said, "Hey, man, I'm not going in there if we're drinking Merlot. I'm not drinking no damn Merlot." Well, kind of ironic, the wine he had at the end of the movie, Cheval Blanc, is majority Merlot. And the great wines of Saint-Emilion and Pomerol focus on this great varietal, which probably a derivative of another Bordeaux varietal, Cabernet Franc. It's been around for a long time, and today it is the second most planted varietal on the earth. Well, the acreage went down a little bit after the Sideways phenomenon, we'll call it. But, the thing that made Merlot take off was in the late 90s, the 60 Minutes piece that they did on the French Paradox, where, they found out, finally, they had scientific proof that wine is actually good for you. And, they found out by studying French people. So Merlot kind of took off after that, and it's a varietal that makes a very pleasant wine, a very easy drinking wine. It's got thinner skin than Cabernet Sauvignon does. It ripens earlier, and it has a lot of gorgeous forward fruit. So one of the things that helps Merlot age is also it's got great acidity. And if you're the folks in Pomerol, like the Moex family, they prefer to pick Merlot a little bit on the early side to focus on its ageability, to leave the acidity in there. And if you're Michel Rolland and you want to make wines that are more drinkable, you pick it a little later so it's got a little less acid and more fruit to it. But either way, when you get a great example of the Merlot varietal, there are very few wines that are better on the face of the earth. And Merlot is very finicky, similar to Pinot Noir. Even though it's planted all over the globe, it only makes really high quality wines in a few places. You can count them on one hand. Northern California, Napa, Sonoma, Washington State, Tuscany, of course, Bordeaux. You're starting to find some now in South America, in Chile, although Carmenere is really taken on there. And in Argentina, you find a few. New Zealand, I'm sorry, we just went over to the other hand. But really, the first few places I talked about are the really top level Merlots. And we are going to give you a great perspective of Merlot from around the world here. That's right, we've got stuff from California, we've got stuff from Washington State, we've got Italy and Tuscany. They make fantastic Merlot. Of course, you're going to see a Saint-Emilion in this lineup. And we've got 8 wines. This is a tasting we do every other Wednesday at Cafe Maxx for $35. Man, an incredible value. And you know what? The last few have pretty much sold out without even having to push the send button on our email. And I love Merlot, so I decided we should focus and send an email out on this one. We still have a few seats left, not many. Probably would have sold out before we even sent this out. But check it out. All of the great Merlots we've got, we're going to be tasting at Cafe Maxx. And the one I drank yesterday on this email, wow, Chateau Clemence, and then the Wine Wizards Bordeaux tasting, one of the greatest Bordeaux tastings I have ever attended. If you've never seen our What I Drank Yesterday, you want to check these two out. All right, check it out, what we're drinking, our Merlot tasting at Cafe Maxx on Wednesday, the 23rd of March. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.